there's a freedom that comes from doing what you love simply because you love it, and not because you have some sort of ulterior motive or you have something that you have to go and do. And I'm getting past the disappointment of having to pull out of my meat, and I'm starting to really embrace that excited feeling that comes with, wait, now I get to relax a little bit as far as putting expectations on myself, and I can just focus on getting better all around. And I'm really excited for that. I feel like in the last few weeks that I've just felt so much pressure on a workout to workout basis to always hit these numbers, and it kind of goes against everything that I am trying to implement with all the RTS principles and all the auto regulation that I've been trying to do. When you start to set, certain standards for what the workouts have to be, you get disappointed because your body can't keep up with your imagination of what you think you should be able to do. And instead, on a day like today, I went in and I just worked as hard as I could on the day with no pressure or expectation, just saying I'm going to go until the reps feel a certain way. And that's pretty much how I think all of my training really should be. That's the way that auto-regulation is meant to work. You give it your best on the day, and I've always had the issue of wanting to push too much and kind of getting ahead of myself and almost wrecking my progress. So I'm excited. Some changes for this training block. It's just going to be kind of an ambiguous time where I'm just going to be, I'll come up with a split for my sessions. A lot of technique work. I really want to work on my squat this training block. I think it kind of detrained itself towards the end of my last one. And so a lot of beltless work. I pulled off the SBD knee sleeves. I think they're a little too assistive for actually building my strength. I think they're a good way to peak for a meet, but I don't want to be using them when I'm trying to force myself to get better. I think they're a little bit too much of a training crutch. And so I'm going back to my Ray-Bans, which don't really give me much support at all, especially since they're a little bit older and worn in. But squats were the rough point today, I'll say that. It's crazy how any kind of drop in frequency in my squatting really does drastically affect how I feel with my squats, and it's just really hard for me to find the groove again. And especially when I take away the knee sleeves and the belt and the elbow sleeves and the wrist wraps and all the stuff that I'd been getting ready to do for the meet squatting, and just kind of go back to the bare bones. All right, you don't have anything to rely on. You kind of have to just make it work on your own. But I am excited to do that. It was a cool feeling today when I was in the garage, and I will say it was way too hot out. I mean, we're in Ellensburg. It's been about 100 degrees consistently in the last week. I mean, we're just getting. There's a wildfire going on, like on the hillside. If you look out my garage, you would actually be able to see the hillside with the smoke burning. So our air quality wasn't very good, which possibly affected my lungs, but ultimately I think my conditioning itself can come up. I'm a little bit detrained after taking a week to kind of clear my head and get my thoughts together, but I am genuinely excited to be moving forward and finding things to work on and get better, and just pursue that improvement again, for the sake of improvement, not for the sake of a meet, not for the sake of doing something for someone else or posting a total so that other people can see it, but just getting better all around for the sake of that, and being good, because anything worth doing is worth doing to the best of your ability. Why else do it? And so that's kind of the mentality I'm trying to take into this next few weeks, next few months, next however long it takes for me to get kind of the other things that I need to get cleared out in my life. A lot of it just has to do, I've been working a lot this last week. I picked up multiple shifts, as many as I can handle, more than I probably can handle, and as many as they'll let me take. But I'm going to be training more frequently, as often as I can, and without there being a crazy expectation with each training session. I'm just going to go in and do what I can on that day, it actually opens me up to do a lot of different things and be a lot happier with each session. So you saw there at the end of some front squats, and I know people have been asking for a long time that they'd like to see those, and they think that would really help with my squatting. Well, I still am not very comfortable with them. I have a lot of shoulder mobility issues and a lot of wrist mobility issues that I'm going to have to work through to be able to do those effectively, but I figure as long as I start light, and I'm not in a rush right now, so I got some time to work on it. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're not all too disappointed. Some people expressed that they were a little bit upset that at the decision I made, but I promise you it really was the only responsible option that I could make. I love powerlifting, but there are other things in life that are a little more immediate, and the meets are still going to be there, and I'm still going to be able to go back and do more of them, and this is just what I need to do right now for me to make sure that I'm being a responsible adult and taking care of my business, because I got to do that. So thank you guys again, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.